Cameron Marshall.
Welcome into the Sun Devil Sports Night MLB Playoff Preview Special. I'm your host, Louis Vertone. In this episode, we'll have our SDSN analysts break down all four divisional series, and we'll go through and give our picks for this year's Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, Manager of the Year, and MVP. We'll start the show off with the National League 2-3 series between the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants.
Hello, I'm Miranda Perez, and here with me is Andrew Bantley to discuss the upcoming National League postseason matchup between the Reds and the Giants. Andrew, what did both teams do so well in the regular season to get them into the postseason?
Well, first of all, I'm so excited for this series. The Giants, they hit much better than I thought they did. You knew they were going to pitch, and they knew they were going to field. And the Reds, they pitched far better than I thought. And they're a great hitting team, and it showed.
All right, Matt Cain and Johnny Cueto are set to start in Game 1. How do you like the pitching matchups going forward in the series?
This is going to be awesome. This is going to be a great game. Johnny Cueto, a 2.78 ERA. Matt Cain, a 2.79, practically the same pitcher. I think the edge does go to Matt Cain because it is in San Francisco. He does have a 0.00 ERA. I think edge Matt Cain.
All right, if you had to choose one X factor for each team, one player who has to do well in order for their team to win, who would you choose?
For the Reds, Joey Votto. He's 1 for 10 in the postseason, 100, not very good. He's going to step it up. I got no doubt about it. Now, Pablo Sandoval, on the other hand, for the Giants, he needs to step it up. He's a 176 postseason hitter. In 2010, when they won the World Series, he had a really, really bad year, a career worst. This year, much better. He's their 3-hitter. He'll step it up. And also, Tim Lincecum. I have no idea what to expect from Tim Lincecum. The Cy Young pitcher, the 2012 pitcher, who knows?
All right, finally, who do you think is going to win the series and why?
The San Francisco Giants. 3 of their starting pitchers, assuming Ryan Vogelson's one of them, are top 12 in NL ERA. So I think that with the Giants starting pitching, that's going to lead them to the division series.
All right. We'll see if Andrew's predictions are correct. Thank you for joining us. Back to you in the studio, Louis.
All right, thanks, guys. Real quick, your pick, Reds or Giants?
Reds in 4.
I'm going to say Giants in 5.
All right, let's start with our first award of the show, the AL and NL Rookie of the Year. We'll start with the one that seems to be the no-brainer. Your AL Rookie of the Year.
I got Mike Trout out there for the Angels. He's just had an amazing season for them, and just his rookie year, 30 home runs, 129 runs, 48 stolen bases, numbers that we've never seen put up from a rookie. He's being considered for the MVP, contending with a guy who won the Triple Crown. That's just absolutely amazing. Hitting over 320. We've seen the plays he's made out in the field, robbing home runs. He's just done everything for that team and missed the first month of the season. So I think that hands down, it goes to Mike Trout out there in Los Angeles.
You pretty much said everything I wanted to say. Statistically, he's leading the AL in stolen bases, leading him in runs, second in the AL in batting average, just behind Miguel Cabrera, who won the Triple Crown. He's an MVP candidate as well. I'm not sure if he's going to get it. We'll discuss that, I guess, later.
We'll talk about that later.
But Trout has been dominating it. The only thing I'll throw on top of your comment, Gabe, is when the guy has a Twitter feed with Trout-tastic, The Natural, all these things, the Fear the Fish, whatever you want to do, after Tim Salmon, then the whole Mike Trout thing comes in play. He's the real deal, and that's how I know when people are trending on him on Twitter.
Well, we'll talk about the MVP thing. It might be a little fishy if Trout wins, but we'll talk about that. So we have Trout now, NL Rookie of the Year, a little more cloudy. Who do you guys have?
Yeah, you're right, Louis. It's a little tougher to decide the NL Rookie of the Year. We've had Todd Frazier out there in Cincinnati, had a great year. But I'm going to go with Bryce Harper out there in Washington. I think that he was just a spark plug for that team. He hustled every play, gave it 100%. He had 9 triples on the year, 26 doubles, and 22 home runs, hitting .270 for him. I think he just did everything. And he always was giving 110%. And I think that allowed the veterans to see this young guy is giving it his all every single game. So we need to. So I think that I think he deserves it out there. One guy I will say that we need to watch out for, though, is Willen Rosario out there in Colorado. He had 28 home runs and 70 RBIs. throughout 30% of the runners that were trying to steal on him, so he was solid behind the dish, too, defensively. So I think that if Bryce Harper doesn't win it, Willen Rosario might sneak up on people.
See, I like your Rosario pick better than your Harper pick, because if you look at Harper, Rizzo, and Frazier, those are guys that statistically they're pretty close. So I'm actually switching gears. I want to go with the pitcher. Wade Miley in the Arizona Diamondbacks deserves to win it. He had a 3.33 ERA. But then before the Diamondbacks were mathematically eliminated, he had a 2.85. A 2.85 on a team without Daniel Hudson. Joe Saunders getting shipped off, not how he's looking. That staff was weak. Led the team in wins, and here's the big stat. 14 home runs given up all season for the rookie. That's impressive.
Yeah, I like both picks. I would go with Miley, 16-11 ERA at 3.33. Top 10 in the NL. His walks per 9 innings was 7th in the NL, and went to the All-Star game. So he did pitch well. I like those picks. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll have a breakdown of the A's-Tigers series, and we'll get into AL/NL Cy Young winners.
How do we rise to the challenges before us? Arizona State University.
How do we educate in a rapidly changing world?
How can we create a sustainable way of life?
How can we teach peace?
Arizona State University. Rise to the challenges before us.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Julianne.
I'm Brett Cowett.
And welcome to our MLB postseason preview. Tonight we are looking at the Detroit Tigers taking on the Oakland A's for the American League Division Series. Now, both teams are in the postseason after many people said they couldn't do it. The Tigers had a shaky season. It was a bit of a roller coaster. They started out hot, lost it after the All-Star break, but somehow pulled it together and made a comeback to win their division. Now, the A's, they just inconsistently were not doing very well, and then somehow they managed to clinch the AL West in the very last game of the regular season. Now, Brett, how do you think these teams fared during the whole entire regular season?
Well, the Tigers won the season series 4-3. The A's, you just said, had a 94-win season. Tigers had 88-win season. And over the course of their games, they only scored about 75 runs total. And that's not very much considering the offenses of both teams. But this is the A's first postseason trip since 2006, and the Tigers lost last year in the ALCS to the Texas Rangers.
Okay, Brett, one of the biggest obstacles the Tigers faced this season was a shaky bullpen. They would start out strong, and then by the end, they just lost it. But the A's stayed really consistent. Do you think that's going to play a big factor in this series?
Yeah, because the A's have one really good thing working for them. They know how to take pitches. And the bullpen isn't great, but it's not bad either. It's a 3.79 ERA. And while Valverde isn't perfect, like he was last year, he still has 35 saves. But Valverde's always been shaky. He likes loading up the bases every now and then. And if the A's are going to take pitches and work him, they have a real shot at getting to that Tigers bullpen.
All right, Brett, the majority of the A's pitching staff is rookies. And the Tigers, even though they've been a little shaky, they're all veterans. Do you think that's going to affect them at all in the long run?
No, because most of the A's rotation has been rookies all year, and the only guy who wasn't a rookie was Brandon McCarthy, and he got taken out by a line drive a couple months ago. And I just see them staying consistent because Bob Melvin's been a great manager. He knows how to calm down his pitching staff, and since they've been doing it all year, I expect him to keep it up in the postseason.
All right, Brett, who do you see as the biggest X factor in this series?
I see Josh Reddick being the biggest X factor, the outfielder for the Oakland A's. He's 8-55 in the last 15 games. He needs to really step it up and get back to his power hitting ways. He had 32 home runs in the season.
Miguel Cabrera just took home the triple crown. Do you think that's going to do anything? Is it going to intimidate the A's at all?
No, because when postseason starts, all your stats are from the regular season are basically wiped clean. So everybody gets a clean slate, and I expect Josh Reddick to come out of the gate.
All right, Brad, who do you see winning this series?
I see the A's in 4. They are going to come back home in Game 3, win both those games, and they're going to steal one on the road.
Well, I personally see the Tigers winning it. They're frustrated. They're bloodthirsty. They're going to go into this strong. I think they're going to lose it a little bit in the middle, but they're going to take it in Game 5. All right, thanks, guys. That's all for our preview. I'm Julianne.
I'm Brett Cowett.
Back to you in the studio, Louie.
All right, thanks, guys. We're back here at the desk. I'm excited for that A's-Tigers series. Should be fun. All right, next award, Cy Young winners. We'll start with the AL. Who do you guys have?
I got David Price out there in Tampa Bay. He was the ace of that staff, did it all year. We didn't really see him slump at all. He had a 20-4 record. He led the league in ERA with a 2.56.